100 girlfriends. Hello, friends. It's been 87 years.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 87 more years until the next one.
Yeah, we're all gonna be Yakuza age or whatever.
We're all going to be older than this new girl, and she'll. You know, it's okay. It's funny, right? So my theory, and I don't know. Okay, this chapter surprised me with how she acted because I assumed that she was gonna be like, what, you're taller than me, you're older than me, fuck you, and then like get into a fight with them. And I think the author knew that because there's that like build-up panel where she's like, she does do the Jotaro Dio standoff with the maid, and I was like, okay, here we go.
The maid.
But no, she's actually just a massive knob slobber for seniority. Yeah. And I want to I'll say this and then I'll let you cook a little bit. A part that really stood out to me in this chapter was Rentaro's like explanation of how her brain works. Yeah. Where he's like, okay guys, I think I figured her out. She's so terrible at everything that the only thing that she's had to look forward to is the inevitability of seniority. So that is law in her world, and that is so funny to me. And again, this author continues to cook with like, you know, here's the delinquent archetype. In Komi, that would be the entire character. She would just be a delinquent. But no, in this series, delinquent with this weird seniority obsession. So it's like, mwah, beautiful. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, like to quote user Odd Trouble 4651 on the Reddit discussion thread for this chapter. I like how pathetic Saki is, like how genuinely pathetic she is. I don't know. She goes up to like the most, like, I mean, you know, as soon as she goes up to find someone who is higher than her in the hierarchy, she's immediately doing that like Japanese hand,
the hand wringing, like, yeah, like every fucking merchant in Zelda. Like, have you ever played Skyward Sword?
No, I haven't, but yeah, I think I've seen it.
Yeah, there's one merchant in that game where, like, if you walk up to him, he's doing that, and then the second you turn around, he's all mad, like,
Yeah, but it's apparently he's like a specific Japanese like gesture.
Yeah,
and, like you know, it's used for like, I'm looking up. I looked up like a freaking like forum.
I think it is. I would assume it's like a stereotype for someone who's like a suck up or trying to like get something from you, or
it's like asking for something in kind of like a desperate or like crude way kind of thing, because I mean that's obviously what Saki's doing. She's like, let me be your right hand man, maid.
Yeah, and her thing is she does want power, she wants status, but she's willing to do whatever. And they even make the point like, oh, you'd be like pushed around by your coworkers, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because she's like, I'm not really legal to drink, but I'll do it if you want me to. And it's like, oh my god, you can imagine like her working at a job, and they're like, we're all going out for drinks, and then she's like, I'm literally a child, and it's like, we're all going out for drinks. Don't you want to get along with your coworkers? Like, of course I
do. This girl's such a mess, shaking my head.
Literally, actually, she genuinely needs character development, and not in a bad way. Like, she's a good character, but I'm sitting here like, oh man, like actually, she needs therapy.
That's half the girls in this harem. Like, they're all people who need some amount of therapy. Like, literally. What was happening with the Brazilian girl was like, that was her therapy that she desperately needed.
She just now got it after being in this story for like 75 chapters. Yeah. So God bless her. So, you know, 75 chapters from now, we'll have her big therapy chapter where she's like, maybe I don't need to suck up to seniority and power.
Like, figure out where is this deep-seated insecurity coming? Because it's all based on her fear of being looked down upon.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's got short man syndrome, if you think about it. So, okay, do you know what I mean by that when I say that?
Yeah, you know, like Napoleon complex kind of thing.
Yeah, well, even more than just like Napoleon and like history, like modern day, like short men. Not always, but there's like I've seen a bunch of like video, like, you know how you can look up like feminist owned compilations.
Oh yeah.
Like there's like short man being like triggered compilations, and like it'll be like the shortest like fucking midget man just like fucking like throwing his coffee at a Starbucks employee and shit, and it's like there's a subsection of men who, you know, and it's a real thing. People really do look down on short people, or short men specifically, and you know, and they kind of take it out on the rest of the world. So she has that, but she's a woman, so that whole dynamic is different. And that's interesting. Anyway,
isn't short man more like aggressive? Because like I'm thinking,
that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
I'm seeing someone who's like more like, it's more fear based kind of thing. Like he's afraid of, you know, what's the word, getting on the bad side of people who are like above her kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, not to say obviously women can be aggressive too, but I wonder if like it's manifesting differently for her because she's a woman, right? Because it's
Possible.
harder to go out there and be like aggressive when like okay, like
But we have like 29 other girlfriends we can look to for reference to see if anyone's got like a similar.
well, here's
Like,
what I was
who's
gonna
most
say, right? And
aggressive?
you gotta let me cook to make sure that I don't get misconstrued as like accidentally sexist here.
Oh, yeah.
So like I have plenty of friends that are women, and like some of them are like genuinely like terrified to like take walks alone at night and shit. You know what I mean? And it's real sad
very
that that's the
common.
case, right? So like I would imagine it'd be harder to manifest your short man syndrome with aggression when you are a very tiny, frail, probably we know she's weak.
true.
Yeah, she gets her
Yeah, by
she gets
toddlers,
beaten by kids. So I mean, like you literally cannot manifest it with aggression when you are this woman. You know what I mean? So like now instead it manifests with like a massive inferiority complex and a desperation to like feel above others. It's interesting. I like psychoanalyzing her.
Sure, yeah. Because I was gonna bring up this psychological construct that I had come across years and years ago.
cook.
Yeah, it's called the social dominance orientation. It's a measure of an individual's tendency to support social hierarchies and whatnot. And on the like scores where the like question or whatever, that will ask you questions like some groups of people must be kept in their place. Agree, disagree.
Oh God. Imagine
some
pushing
people-
agree to that.
Some groups of people are simply inferior to others. Agree, disagree, that kind of thing. Or
It's like when you do. Have you ever done the political compass test?
I don't think so, but
Dude,
I do know it.
Oh, can we do a stream where you do the political compass
Oh my!
test?
Well, I mean, I'd be like, probably a leftist.
Most likely, we're
I'd be
probably all
I'd
in
be
that
terrified of it.
that lower left quadrant, right? Where,
Yeah.
but no, I mean there are some questions on there where it's just like, are you evil? Like it'll be, it's just like,
they
do
basically
you?
ask that. And,
Yeah, like, do you think the races should be kept separate?
yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
Jesus
that kind of
Christ.
thing. Yeah, but I think this is like Saki's probably someone who has a high social dominance or social dominance orientation, and it doesn't obviously it doesn't have to be like aggressive or like actively evil because I mean she's not like actively evil. She just like falls in line with whoever is above her. But as soon as she thinks she's above someone, then she starts acting all high.
Yeah, and it's no wonder that she goes and hangs around kids because she's like,
Yeah.
ha ha, and then she gets brutally reminded that she's not even dominant to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting what you mentioned with the social dominance thing because, like, you do. I'm not sure if you've ever hung out in like a big group of friends. Like I have a big like D&D group. We all play
Well, I mean,
D&D.
big. Like when I say big, I mean like maybe like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, that's big to me. I mean, mine is like 6 people. But like, you do notice that like even you're not even trying to do like a hierarchy, but like one does kind of form, right? It's like, okay, this is the guy who's the butt of all the jokes. This is the guy who is kind of like the leader of the group. He kind of orients what we're gonna do, and it's really interesting because like I found this fascinating. Like I remember when I lost a bunch of weight, my confidence went up, right? This is I've talked about this before. In like 2019, 2020, I lost a bunch of weight. I went from like 320 to like 240. I got genuinely sexy. I got a girlfriend. My confidence was up, and I felt the dynamic shift. Like I actually did. Like there was a point where like it felt like me and the other guy that were like always competing for like the least popular guy in the group, it's like it shifted and I was no longer the least popular, and I felt it, and I felt I felt him kind of being like, I don't know, salty about it. It was really interesting.
Yeah, I've definitely heard the like how different the world treats you when you lose some weight. I mean, I haven't now as someone who's put on some muscle, like I only put on like 20 extra pounds, so it wasn't like it wasn't some huge like it's mostly I just noticed that I could like open like hydraulic doors without having to put my whole body weight into it, and I wouldn't get cold all the time. I don't think. I mean, I'm sure people treat me a little different, but that was back when I was like in college and I was mostly just focusing on like school, so I wasn't. But yeah, point being, the way you look to the world has a big influence on it.
Oh yeah, it's really
like,
unfortunate
social
how true
dynamics.
that is, and it's not even just how you look to the world, but also it affects your confidence, right? And my ability to like brush off jokes rather than like be like really genuinely hurt about them because my own self-image is better, right? So like all this to say, so much of I don't know how, your place in the hierarchy is how you feel about yourself. And like clearly this girl really doesn't feel too well about herself. Like there's genuine like self-confidence issues here.
Yeah.
I mean, we see you mentioned her being totally pathetic. I mean, this like get down on the ground.
Yeah.
grovel,
Oh my
like,
god, that was insane.
I mean, and I said this in the chat, and it has to be said because we are gooners on this channel. um, listen, I'm happy that Rentaro is a good man because if Rentaro was a lesser man, he really could have had a freak on his hands. Okay, I mean, we're talking genuine,
real metamorphosis type beat.
Yeah, yes, excellent reference. He really could have had a genuine, like almost a sex slave situation here.
Yeah, basically,
with how she was acting. So God bless Rentaro for being the best. I mean, dude, this reminds me of there's a hentai I read. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm sure this is like a trope in a lot of hentais where like it's a girl who's like kind of sexually oblivious. Like she's super hot, but she doesn't realize how hot she is. And I saw one recently where it was like, childhood friend of hers. They meet up for the first time since they were kids. It's like, oh, she's super hot now. And she's like really oblivious. She's like, oh, her panties are showing. And he says something like, oh my God, I have to make sure that I get to her before the boys realize how easy she is, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm just looking at this girl and how she acts towards anyone that's like older than her or has more respect than her, and like, wow, I'm just so happy that no other man had like learned her secret. And like, I mean, she's just, I don't know, I'm waffling right now, but like she's just, her opinion of herself is so low that she's just like wrought for being taken advantage of. So it's like good, very happy for her that she met Rentaro, the purest man alive.
Yeah, I mean, this is something I've been thinking of since he came out. I'm trying to like conceptualize what I think is like her
problem.
yeah. Let's just say that. I mean, like you said, it's all, he's very well, the pathetic. I mean, people keep coming back to the pathetic things. Like, why do we perceive that as like so pathetic? I mean,
it is kind of like the definition of pathetic, right? Like,
I know that. Like, I know that. I'm more saying like what are the like, I don't know, like the causal like feelings. I don't know.
No, please keep cooking. I'm laughing because what you said is funny.
Yeah, it is funny, but yeah, because it's basically asking like, why is the sky blue? But the point is like there's an answer to why the sky is blue. I'm like, why do we see this kind of like slavish obsequiously as pathetic? Because I mean, he almost certainly has like some deep-seated.
We need her volume extras, trauma. Is what you're saying. We need the volume extras backstory
to see, because it always comes back down to that she does not want to be looked down upon. I'm figuring that's probably because she had some like really bad experiences with being treated like shit by people who thought themselves above her or whatever. And obviously she was like, I'm either gonna never be above anyone, or if someone is above me, then I'm going to like make sure I fawn all over them so they have no reason to treat me poorly, kind of thing.
That's actually really sad. Like I wonder how deep he's gonna go with this, the author, because like I could see.
I mean, he's gone deep.
Oh yeah. I mean, dude, the Tama suicide shit was enough proof I needed to like, but I'm like, how do I want to word this? I can just imagine her in like elementary school or middle school. And like she's literally like I could even see her like waiting for like, oh, puberty's gonna hit and I'm gonna get tall, and then she just didn't.
Oh, yeah.
She just didn't change height barely at all or whatever. And then like I could see like a really bad bully, like because the thing you said about like not only groveling to them but like sucking up to them to like so that I'm not treated badly, right? So I could see this like behavior of trying to suck up and get in with the cool crowd as a defense mechanism to not get gruesomely bullied, right? I like that idea. And like imagine she had like a bully, and like I mean we could do some intense bullying, like maybe like actually like physical abuse shit if we want to go hard, right?
I mean, you already saw what happened with Mary, where she was getting like water dumped on her.
Literally. Yeah, so imagine that, but just because she's like short and like pathetic and like scrawny and wimpy, and then she develops this as like a defense mechanism. I could even see her like maybe she had like an actual friend that actually liked her for her, but she started doing that classic shit where she was like schmoozing up to the bully and like to get out of the bullying, and then she like threw her actual friend on the bus, like one of those storylines. I could even see that. And that could be a future chapter with her, where like maybe like they go into I had this friend and I threw her under the bus and I haven't talked to her in like 10 years or something.
Or hell, she could even do that with one of the girlfriends right here. Like that could be like a storyline where like we see one of her like quote unquote friends or say family member, and they're talking shit about one of the girlfriends, and he's there, and she has to choose: is she gonna go with her like fawning behavior, or is she gonna like step up to the bully even though she's weaker than them, kind of thing?
Oh, I would like. Oh,
Yeah,
see, yeah, I love that. And like, so now another thing I need to see from her. So we see this wholesome moment at the end where they, you have the group that actually calls her senpai, the group
Yeah,
that
was
calls
pretty
her san, and then the ones that are just like saying her name, and
Just
she's
talking.
like, and I like that
Lose
moment
it.
because it's a good example of like all their different personalities. But I bring real quick what I want to say, and then you can say something about this scene. Was that like another like wholesome moment I want to see with her is what you just said there, where maybe she has to stand up to like someone who's like big and physically strong and imposing and definitely stronger than her, and then at first they're like, what, we're gonna beat your ass, and then like the 30 girlfriends stand up behind her and they're like, what are you
Yeah.
gonna do? And it's like, oh, my strength now comes from this family that I have. Like, I don't need to win any fights because they're here for me. We can all beat this guy's ass. Like, I love that. Power in numbers, baby. That's a huge thing for women. Like, that's why women go to the bathroom
Yeah.
together. Which, again, horrible that is even a thing that they feel they need to do. What a terrible society we have. But like, that's a gorgeous thing. Like the power in numbers. So like, I hope to see that from at some point.
Definitely. A question I did that came up when I was like putting it. How do you treat people who you perceive as like beneath you, or do you even
Me
perceive
personally.
people- yeah, or do you even perceive people as like beneath you, or whatever? Well,
The only,
pathetic.
I'm so glad you asked. So as I got older, I quickly came to the realization that judging anyone for something that they have no control over is stupid. So race, gender, sex. I'm trying to think of other things you have no control over. I guess you can choose your
Age,
gender.
I guess.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like all those like ageism, sexism, racism, all that kind of stuff is ridiculous because literally you're born with it. Fucking stupid. But what you can and should judge people for, and I mean that sincerely, is their decisions. Okay? So if you decide to be a racist, you deserve to be judged for that. If you decide to be a Republican, which is the same thing as being a racist, you deserve
Yeah.
to be judged for that, right? So, like, the only people I look down on are people like that, right? Like, usually it's people with different political opinions than me because I don't believe in this, like, co-op shit, like,
This liberal fucking like kumbaya type. Let's all be hold hands, and all this division is so like unfashionable in this country.
yeah, and like,
we need
I'll be honest. Of course, would the country be a lot smoother if we could all just like
Yeah.
kind of get along? Definitely. Is a lot of the turmoil right now because people hate the other political side? For sure, but it's kind of hard not when the other side is just like racist
Yeah.
and sexist, and you know what I mean. So like,
we don't need that centrist bullshit about both sides got a lot going on and shit. Like
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
they don't.
Politics is inherently your views on how the world should be run, and there's nothing more telling about what kind of person you are than that. So that's the kind of people that I look down on. And what was the question? Like, how do I treat them? How do I view
Yeah, how do
them?
you treat people? Yeah.
I don't like to be confrontational. I used to be, when I was younger, I was willing to like get into debates and shit. Now I'm kind of realizing how useless debates are because everyone's so locked into what they believe, and politics wise, everyone has their own set of facts these days. So you can't even fucking debate them because you'll bring up an actual fact and they'll be like, no. So yeah. So usually, I would say I try to outwardly treat them the same way to not like, I'll talk to my dad, right, who's like a Republican. But I think here's what I'll say. Here's how I treat them. I treat them demeaningly simple, but not in a way that they can perceive. And what I mean by that is that I don't have genuine conversations with them because I view them as less than people, I think. Because I know that they're not smart, so I can't have like conversations about like art and music and because usually these people, not always, but my dad, for example, I tried to have him watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. I've told you about that movie. You've heard about it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can still hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you know about that movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Great movie. Phenomenal. I mean, everyone agrees it's like fucking fantastic. My dad's the type of guy, he told me he watched 10 minutes of it, got bored, turned it off. You know what I mean? And like, not to be stereotypical, but like that's a very Republican move, right?
Yes.
Like they're not all about having their brains challenged with complex and challenging art, right? So like, my dad likes his fucking action movies with big explosions and flying drone shots. But yeah, I guess that's what I would say is that I treat people that I view lesser than demeaningly simple, where like a conversation with them is not for genuine pleasure or enjoyment, but rather to get through the social expectations that I say, oh, hi, how are you? So I guess that would be what it is for me. Good question.
Yeah. For me, well, first, like I guess, commenting on, I guess like pol- more political things. Like what's the word? Like I differentiate between like the voters and like the politicians. Like for me, when it comes to like
Yeah,
freaking
yeah.
politicians, it's not even a question of respect at that point. It's more just like you are a bad person and like you're like specifically like you are actively doing like evil in the world.
Yeah,
So
and
that's not
they're
even that's
like
for me. That's not even.
propagandaing
Yeah,
their own like voters, basically. Yeah,
yeah,
which I suppose every
but
side is, but one for more evil.
yeah. I mean, for the voters, I mean, I don't even know. Like,
Well,
because
do
normally I
you mind
know.
if I chime in if you
Oh
to
yeah,
like
yeah.
help with your point there? So I don't want it to come off like I hate the voters. I just think they're. I've always said in order to vote Republican, you either have to be stupid or evil. Or to say that
Yeah.
in a nicer way, uneducated or evil, right? Because like they don't even the things that Republicans like say they want, they don't even get with Republicans in charge,
Yeah.
right? Like the only exception to that maybe is if you really hate abortion and you really love guns. I would say those are the only two
They've got
things.
yeah,
If
they've gotten a lot
yeah,
on that.
if those are your big issues, all right, vote
And
Republican.
it really is causing more problems for them everyone, including them, than
Right.
it
It's
would than
like,
nothing.
you'll
But
say
whatever, never.
that's important to you, but then like, I don't know, go to close your eyes and go la 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 when you hear about like
Mhm.
all the fucking like teen girls that are like gonna like either die or have to like travel across the country to like fucking have
Yeah.
a baby. Or like, I mean, you know what an ectopic pregnancy is? Have you ever heard of
Yeah.
that? Yeah, so
Yeah.
like the fucking the egg
Like,
gets fertilized, it
crazy,
goes
like,
up in your
yeah,
fallopian tube and then it fucking
Or just anywhere that's not inside the uterus, and they're
yeah.
politicians out here saying like, we'll just take it out and reimplant it in the uterus. That's
the
where it's supposed to go.
Republicans,
I mean, like,
time and time again, Republicans don't understand the science of women's bodies because the only thing Republicans want from women's bodies is to fuck them. You know what I mean? They don't care
or
about
in some
women
cases,
as
not
people.
even just to make babies. Like,
Yeah, dude.
they don't even really care about the fucking.
Facts.
But yeah, so
You were
I
gonna say
don't.
though, I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, so I was talking about like how I feel about the voters. I don't really. I mean, like as long as I mean, as long as you're not like I'm mostly just thinking like I want to outvote you. That's basically it. I don't really like because people normally like I kind of have to know a person to respect or not respect them because I kind of like to see what they do. And I mean, I guess because I just don't live around Republican voters. Thank God. So I
Yeah,
don't
that
really have
Minnesota. Woo.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of why my point was like you. That's been my dichotomy for a while with Republicans. Is like if I'm meeting a Republican, it is truly this simple. They are either uneducated or evil, right? Either you don't know what you're voting for, and you're voting for it anyway, which is a lot of them. And those people are not evil. They're just stupid, right? Like their lives would be better with Medicare for all. Their lives would be better with free education, but their hatred of Mexicans or something is so strong that they say fuck it, no free healthcare for you, right?
Yeah.
Or I almost went to another example, but I don't want to spend this whole fucking review shitting on Republicans, as tempting as that is. Or they're evil, where they literally know what they're voting for. But I would say that's less of the voter base. Most of them are just uneducated. So, like I said, when you asked me, do I look down on them? I do to an extent. And this is maybe a character flaw in mine. I'm not trying to come out here and say I'm super smart, but what I am is like self-reflective, and like I like to think that I'm really in touch with who I am as a person, my emotions, and like I don't know, like I have a deep understanding of myself and other people. And like sometimes you talk to people and they feel like NPCs. Do you know what I mean by that?
I mean, well, yeah, I know what you mean. I'm more just saying like I don't know if I personally gotten that feeling. I mean, I tend to just assume, like
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm the kind of person who probably looks kind of NPC-ish when I'm like at work, for example. I'm just typing away at my computer, but obviously in my head I might be thinking about that next chapter of One Girlfriend was so crazy because of this and that and that.
There's deeper thoughts going on in the head potentially. Yeah, well, I mean, like a good example is one of the coworkers I had like years ago, like when that Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see that? Did you see it?
Oh, I didn't.
You didn't
But
see
yeah,
it?
I do know it.
But you didn't see it?
No.
Okay. Well, it was really deep and like impactful, and like it wasn't like a big action movie. It was mostly like a character piece. You know what I mean? And
I remember a lot of like incel type people were trying to use it as a freaking national film, whatever. But go on.
Yeah. Well, but I had a coworker who was like mad that it wasn't more like Dark Knight. You know, he was like, well, you know, I thought it was gonna be action, but it was like boring, and like that's. I do make judgments on people based on their media tastes, right? And in my mind, it's like, oh, if you can't appreciate like a good like drama story, and it has to be like, you know, like my parents are the type, not my mom's better than my dad, but like my parents are the type of people that are like, they're watching like American Idol and Big Brother and Survivor, reality TV shows, Deal or No Deal, either that or like Gold Rush on Discovery Channel, and you know what I mean? It's like, but they're not gonna sit down and watch like a story, like it's like those type of people. I'm not gonna say they're lesser, but they bore me, you know, and I wouldn't want to, like, and you know, not to knob slob you, but like that's why I connected with you so quickly, is because I talked to you for like 5 minutes about a fucking armpit manga, and you and I were able to like fucking genuinely like deep dive on this stupid armpit ecchi manga, and I was like, wow, this guy actually is like a deep thinker, and you know, so that's my thing. That's how I judge people. I'm not gonna treat you differently, but in my head I might be like, you're boring, you're cool, but that's everybody. That's how you pick friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow,
So yeah. Now I'll actually answer like, how do I treat people who I feel are like beneath me? I mean, normally I kind of like, even if I don't like respect the person, I'll tend to treat them like nicely, as long as they're not bothering me or someone else. And it's caused kind of weird, especially when I was younger, more socially anxious. Because like what would happen is, because I didn't like respect their opinion that much, I would act more like free around them. And it would cause like weird situations where I'd be like, they think I was more interested in them than I actually was, and at least
because your inhibitions are released. You're not nervous
so
around them.
More natural.
That's funny.
So in like at least one situation, they had like they was like a romantic like misunderstanding, and I remember thinking to myself when it happened, like, okay, I need to like you should be able to relax around people you like, or like
that's such an interesting social problem to have. They could make a movie about that. That's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've gotten to the point now where I can relax around people who I like, you know, respect. But it was such an interesting, like you said, it was a very interesting conundrum to be in, it being like 16 or 17 in high school, and like, you know, there's a girl who's clearly kind of into you because you're being very like candid and yourself around them, but like she's kind of like crude, and you're not that, like, you're really not into this person like that, but you don't hate them even though you're kind of like,
you were a stronger man than I. Like the first time I had a girl.
No, it's because I was terrible.
No, I was saying like, because I was when the first girl that showed interest in me, I didn't even like vet them. I was just like, girl, I'm in. You son of a bitch.
Plenty of girls showing interest in me. This is for at least for the past like 10 years, I've been the main person cock blocking myself. Like it has not been a lack of like interested parties. It's been like I've been like, I barely, because I remember in like the first month of my sophomore year of high school, we were going on a school trip, and like while we were waiting in the gym to go there, this girl who had just come there like that year, like literally asked me out, and I'm like, I don't know you. I've got my eyes on this girl who I only talked to like once because she saw a book I was reading, and she was like, oh, that cool book.
And you were in love.
Yes, yeah.
Ladies, if for the 0.3% of our audience, I think you must have watched that one, right? Do you remember? I think it was the episode, as a flashback real quick, when you drew us fucking Magima. I don't know if you remember the first episode that I put that up on screen. Do you remember that vaguely?
I mean, I remember being happy about it, but I don't really remember the
Well, so I put it up, and then Vex and I went from there to, we were like, I wonder how much of our audience is women. And so like I put it up, and then like while we were reviewing, I looked it up in the analytics app, and it was like 0.3% of our audience was women. Damn. And like 99 point something. And so I was like, for that 0.3%, you the real goats, and I hope you're still here watching our 100 Girlfriends reviews.
It might be 0.4% by now.
Ooh, yeah, you're right. We're bringing in the women with this based progressive series. What was the point I was gonna make? I fucking lost it completely.
Okay, wait, something about.
What were you just talking about?
You're saying like any girl viewers watching, like that's how you get Rayos, just be interested in the book that he's reading. Kind of thing.
Oh yes, no, thank you. Okay, so I was just gonna say, like, for you women out there, that's how it is for men. Okay, men be falling in love like that quickly. The standards are so low, and it's not for a bad reason. It's because we men find women you're so beautiful. And I'm not even talking about in a lustful way. Like, there's the men that do it in a lustful way.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, man, like, one of the reasons I love this series so much is because it truly encapsulates the beauty of women and, like, just how gorgeous they are, both as people and, like, visually. And, like, so I just love stories like that because, like, that's such a boy thing, like a high school boy thing for, like, a pretty girl to come up and be like, oh my God, I love that book. And you're just, like, instantly envisioning, like, a future with her.
Oh my. So embarrassing looking back. I literally wrote like a poem about, like in a poetry class, I literally wrote like a little poem about her.
It's so cute though.
I mean, I was smart enough to not be too obvious about it, but still, looking back, I'm like, God, what was I thinking?
No, that's fucking cute, dude. I love it. One day, listen, have you had any girlfriends, or unless you don't want to talk about it?
Oh, no.
Never?
Yeah, no, I haven't even kissed or like held hands.
All right, listen.
Whoever gets me first they're gonna get all my first.
And they're gonna be one lucky woman, okay? Because are you seeing this guy? He does boob studies every month. He's such a woman enjoyer.
Yeah, I mean, true. I find the female and also the male body to be like endlessly fascinating. So I mean,
here's what I'm saying, right? I can tell that you'd be, because like there's like 2 or 3 things that I'm confident about with myself, and then the rest of the stuff in my head, I'm like, oh, I suck at this. Mm-hmm. One of the things I'm confident about myself is that I'm an excellent lover. And I don't just mean that like sexually. Like, I'm a really good partner because I genuinely like love people and I love women. And I can tell you're the same way, right? So I'm just telling you to hype your ass up because I think, not that you need it, but I want to give it to you because you're my boy. That girl gonna be lucky because I can tell you'd be a good partner. All right, I'm just letting you know.
All right, well, I got the red seal of approval.
I'm a good judge of character, ladies. 0.3 ladies, hit them up. All right. Sorry if that was awkward, but I like gassing you up. You see, you're such a nice guy, but you're super meek, and like you know what meek means, right?
Yeah.
I'm
a writer, David. I know.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Some people
there probably aren't any words. There probably aren't any. Okay, this is me being not meek. There probably
you're super meek, Ryas. What the fuck did you just say to me?
There probably aren't any words that you know that I don't know. But
damn, fair enough. Let them cook. I just want you. It's okay. Can I be honest with you? Can I be a little? I like complimenting you because the way you react is kind of cute. All right.
I mean, yeah. I know how people.
See, he's getting flustered. It's cute.
I mean, I do choose to lean into it because I know how annoying it is when you give a compliment to someone. You're like, no, I'm not like, no.
It's better to accept it. Yeah.
I'll either just accept it or like do word salad like I did just a second ago.
Cute.
All right. Do I have what else? Anything on my notes?
And he's got notes, ladies. I'm gonna tell you right now. If I was a lady, I'd find that hot. I'm not even fucking kidding. I'd be like, damn, he takes notes. Damn, that's getting me going.
Oh yeah, I guess the last note was like when near the beginning of the chapter when we saw Saki go from jump ships from the maid girl to the Brazilian girl, and Mary was like, "Oh, I see how this chapter is going." I laughed because like literally the second before I read that panel, I thought the same thing. I was like, "Oh, okay, I know how this chapter is going."
I love when that happens in this series. Yeah. I wish I could remember. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Author-san knows us too well.
I like that the author can now be like almost a self-insert for the author. If you think about it.
He already was self-insert. Now he's got like freaking. And then at the beginning of the fucking chapter, when the divine revelation came to Harari, that was basically self-insert.
The author's like, we're skipping the build-up. Like, we don't even need to do like an in-lore explanation of why they're dressing like this. He's like, I want them to already be dressed like this when she gets there, just because.
Yeah, he already it only fed in her delusions that this was a gang.
So, that's true. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no, and she did come in just like I thought. By the way, that she still thought this was a gang, and I think she understands towards the end that, like, because she's like, oh, these really are just a bunch of stand-up gals. Yeah. But she really needs. I feel like she still doesn't fully understand that this is like a relationship. She really needs she needs to have what the author had. Where I feel like the author had a couple of like introduction chapters to get her in. I need her to have like a chapter like what the author just had with Shizuko, like a nice one-on-one hangout with one of the girls where they're like, "Girl, are you okay?" Like,
I cannot wait to see who she like partners up with. Like, that's half the fun, is seeing these girls form relationships with the most random like other girls.
Who will her friend be? Because Uto already has friend with the regular girl. Cause who would be a good friend for her that doesn't already have like a friend? Tama, cat girl.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he's very chill and like,
and she's way older.
Like, well, yeah, and she doesn't care about that hierarchy shit. That would be a nice person to help Saki.
A good foil for her. I also like, because I'm as a fellow work hater, Tama being like, do my job for me is exactly what I would do if I had a fucking slave. Do my job for me, bring me back the paycheck. Hell yeah.
I remember when I was younger, when a boss I had like a maid, and back then when I was way more into like being independent, and I remember thinking kind of like, but ironically, I kind of like looking down, not too much, but I was like, man, why you can't even do your own laundry for yourself? And it's funny I thought that, because like once I got to college and I'd actually do like my laundry on a regular basis and like vacuum shit and all that, I was like, I can see why people get maids. I'm very sorry, dude. Boss, I thought that way about you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough thing, because if you get too rich, you do kind of like disconnect yourself from the woes of the everyman, and then you can become like very weird and sociopathic. Like that I almost said Bill Cipher. I've been getting Gravity Falls mood. The Bill Gates clip where he doesn't know how much cereal costs. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he thinks it's like $25 or some shit.
Yeah, the classic banana.
Yeah, because his ass hasn't gone grocery shopping himself in probably like 20 years, right? It's like, okay, you don't need to get a maid for too much, but I mean, I can't deny that'd be a what's the word? Tempting thing to get for sure. Natty wanting to change it into American Gang where we only speak English. Very good. I'm trying to think if there's any other moments to talk about. Oh, we need to talk about, I really liked Shizuka confidently being like, I am the third assassin.
Yeah.
That was so cute.
He was me like, Saki was me like, yeah, you look meek.
You must be a newbie. And that's projection, right? She's projecting her fears onto Shizuka, because in her head she's nervous because she's new and she's thinking that there's going to be this hierarchy because of that. And I love Rentaro, like, actually, and we've known this of course, but Rentaro confirming like, no, that's not how this works here. I love my first girlfriend as much as I love my 30th.
We practice non-hierarchical polyamory over here. None of that hierarchy stuff.
It's based as shit over here. Actually, we're more proof that Rentaro is a member of the far left. He believes in destroying hierarchy as a system. That nothing more far left than that, baby.
Yeah, he would score like a -10 on the social dominance orientation.
Bro, take Red and Rios take the social dominance orientation test live on stream.
Oh my god!
Is this like a test online? Like, what is this?
I mean, it's like an academic. It's part of like an academic theory about social dominance theory and like describing history from the perspective of like certain cultures or groups like dominating others, and then they have like certain groups have like legitimizing myths to like legitimize their dominance, and then there's like another group who has like delegitimizing myths. They're like trying to it's basically like egalitarianism versus authoritarianism kind of stuff. And people are trying to, the researchers were trying to, I guess, like analyze sociology from that perspective, kind of thing.
That's wild. Sociology is fascinating though. I've been watching more like YouTube video essays about like just what makes a society, what makes it crumble, as we're living in weird times where the society is kind of crumbling. It's like, oh, this has happened in history before. What caused it then? Did you have any more thoughts on the chapter?
Let's see.
Who's your favorite dressed up in these outfits?
Okay,
who's looking the best to you? You're on The Bachelor right now. Who you picking?
I mean, I like how Matsuri always has fucking like her sleeves torn off, basically, but that's not who I'm picking. But let's see.
Yeah, in terms of, I gotta be honest, right? Like, I'm going off of who looks the best here. Okay, so like Uto, I love her. I don't think she looks fine, but she's not cooking the hardest in this outfit. I don't think it doesn't work for her. Who looks good? Who I think does look really good in this outfit though? Karane, the tsundere, she's
Oh,
cooking.
definitely. Yeah.
She's
I mean, she
cooking.
always looks good. That's almost like unfair to
Yeah.
the other girls.
I also want to talk about Sue, Number Girl. I'm getting better at remembering
Yeah.
names because of you, by the way. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sue, Number Girl, has, in this final page, she has the most I want to kill you and I hate everyone here face. Look at her. Are you looking at this?
She always does.
But, like, more than usual. She actually...
Yeah, like her head's tilted. She's doing a fucking Kubrick stare almost.
It's freaking me out, dude. When I first saw that, it reminds me of, like, a yandere anime that I watched once.
Yeah, basically, yeah, either the Kubrick stare or the yandere, like, hands on the cheeks, sort of.
It's because she hasn't
Yeah.
autistically attached her name to a number yet, so she's still like, who is this bitch?
Oh my god, yeah.
I hate this bitch.
Hilarious.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Who else is cooking?
I really like not like natties and like
Yeah,
Brazilian girls.
because Natty's got
anyone who
midriff,
has,
does
like,
she?
and yeah, anyone who has like the crop top sort of top, I guess.
Wait, why can't I
I'm
find her in these
big
final
fan of
pages?
Well, she doesn't really. She's not really like too visible in the final
What the
pages.
fuck? Where is she?
We can see her on. We can see Natty on page 9, and then.
Right, but is she in one of those pages where they're calling her Senpai-san or just her name? Am I
Oh yeah,
blind?
I think.
Where is she?
Wait. Oh, is she?
Hey yo, am I blind?
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, no. We got to the point where the group is too big. We got.
Oh my god, real? Oh, I feel like
Sometimes people have to not show up. Like
I feel like a
there's-
failure, bro. As a fan, I was so sure that everyone showed up.
I guess I got good eyes. I mean, because I as soon as I looked, I was like, "Yep, she's not here."
Where's my girl, Naughty? Where is she? Wow, midriffless. Did we get a good look at your girl? Oh god, it's been so long. I'm forgetting her name now. The AI
Oh,
one.
yeah, she's in.
She's in the final
group.
page, but like her whole
Oh, you
outfit. Did we get a
let's
full body
see if we
torso of her
saw.
at some point? Cause like in the tiny look we see of her in that final page, it looks like the booba be showing not showing, but like prominent enough to kind of like have a bulge through her outfit, and God bless for that. I think that might be the only good shot we get of her at the end there.
Yeah, unfortunate. Damn.
Yeah. Do you see though what I'm talking about? There's a little bit of bulge showing through that.
And then
nice
not to
thick-
mention Tama is like bursting out of her thing.
canonically the biggest boobs.
Like you can see you can see her like her dress shirt. The buttons are like
Oh,
hanging on.
you're right. There's a touch of cleave coming out, isn't there?
Yeah.
She's 21. She can drink. She's old enough for me to not feel weird about it. She's a
Yeah.
cat girl. She hates being employed.
Also, there's Momoha. She actually has her belly out, just like Saki's, and that's good.
Bro, I really do be having to blast a nut out every time I read one of these chapters. You can't be silent when I say that. You have to laugh.
Okay, no, I did laugh. It's just normally I have different levels of laughs. Like there's the.
I'm
And
so
there's-
sorry. Just as a reminder, my humor style is to have no filter. If the thought enters my head, it comes out. So if it's ever like annoying or weird, please tell me.
Okay, bro, I've watched literally like hundreds of hours of your content. Like I think at this point, I don't think you could do anything to be like too surprising to me. Like I'm
That's
just like,
good.
yep, that's red.
It's just
And
fuck,
he
dude.
says something. He says even crazier in the Chainsaw Man review of chapter
In
96 or
Chainsaw
something.
Man- Yeah, dude, for sure. The hentai devil sketch. Our
Yep.
peak.
Yes,
Oh, God.
like that kind of.
We got to bring it back. That was so good. Hentai Devil 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Lord.
Well, anyway, honestly, what a good chapter. There was so much to talk
Yeah.
about. Like you had mentioned in our chat that we got a good ass up, ass wiggle while she's groveling, and we all know that's
Not,
good.
like, what did she do with her hands? Like he's like skid around. And got,
Yeah,
a
she's
fucking,
kind of like
cockroach.
I think she's supposed to be like a bug, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah. Fuck,
Oh my,
man.
poor. And then, like I love how she's looking up at him while Rentaro was talking. She's like, huh? Like,
She's mid lick too.
yeah.
I also like. Okay, we keep having more to mention. When she tries
Yeah.
to lick Yaku, the grandma's shoes, she just like disgustedly pulls her shoe away.
Wait, what?
Oh, have
Yeah.
you seen that?
You cough like a millisecond.
Oh, sorry. So like when she's trying to lick the grandma's shoes, she just like
Oh my God,
disgustedly
yeah, the
licks
sweat.
or like pulls it away.
That is one of my favorite parts about Yaku. Like he's always sweating.
She's also not gonna take shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Oh yeah, the aura, the age aura.
Yeah.
I like that she didn't doubt it at all either, too. Like she looks at her and she's like, that the aura is there.
Feel it.
Oh
my lord.
God. Well, anyway, I think we may have analyzed this chapter to death.
Well, we got nothing left. Well, then, from now on, this chapter will be known as Rayo's Family, you hear? And the first order of business for members of Rayo's family is to like, comment, and subscribe.
Do you know how to shoot? I gotta think of a way to like attach her shtick to like subscribing to our channel.
Wait, this is what I just did.
Did you say it again? I missed it.
Wait, yeah, from now on, this channel will be known as the Rayo's Family.
Oh,
hear?
you did!
And
Fuck,
the first
dude.
order of business for members of the Rayo's family is to like, comment, and
Wait,
subscribe.
that's actually so peak. I was so busy trying to think of one for myself that like
Oh
what
my
you said
Lord.
completely went over my head. Peak.
I spent like 5 seconds coming up with that one while I was reading the chapter.
Good shit. I'm proud of you. I was gonna try to go in a whole weird direction about like the age and hierarchy, and I was gonna say you gotta join our epic channel with all these subscribers, but we're like not even we don't even have that many subscribers that did that. I was like, well, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Fuck. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Well, hey, how about this? I'm 6'3". If I'm taller than you, viewer, you have to subscribe to me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And
Statistically,
that's why
I am.
That's why I subscribe to the channel, because I'm shorter than him.
Yeah, it's legally binding. The cops will come and arrest him if he doesn't subscribe. Same with all of you.
I'm surprised Saki didn't bring up height. I mean, this chapter.
Yeah, so that's interesting, right? I wonder if the height thing was. Well, I mean, it's clearly a thing for her, but like, I'm sure. Yeah, I think the running gag will be a bit of everything, right? We'll have the height, we'll have the seniority, the age, anything that makes her feel like someone's above her. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
But yeah, no, this chapter did kind of give off the impression that she cares maybe a little more about age than height, if there's a hierarchy to that. Yeah. Final thoughts for you?
Looking forward to what is next 2 weeks? Like, I guess you're looking forward to
mid-September. I don't know.
Yeah, basically looking forward to mid-September when we get to see what happens next.
This is fucked
actually, oh wait, no, I was looking at the next line preview, but it's just saying we're gonna take a break to calm Saki down. It's something, you know.
I hope that
They always
means-
say that. They always say, like, whenever there's a break week, they always say we're taking a break to deal with whatever just happened, whatever wacky shit just happened.
Yeah, that'd be cool if the next chapter actually was calming her down, though.
Yeah.
I want it to kind of. I hope that it is kind of like because I felt like when the author got introduced, she had like a bunch of like secondary and tertiary chapters, right? Like right after she got introduced, that like fleshed her out even more, and I kind of want that with her because I'll be honest, it does feel like uniquely that this new girl is a little underdeveloped, but I feel like that's intentional. And then we're gonna get more from her. But like as of now, she does feel like, I don't know, almost like I know you had mentioned when I said like she really needs therapy, you were like a lot of the girls do, but like she feels like almost up on Number Girl level in terms of how much therapy she needs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can definitely. I mean, yeah, I do agree that she's definitely like of the girls who need therapy, she's one of she needs it the most basically. That's
than
one
Number
thing
Girl.
she can take pride in.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe Number Girl. No, Number Girl already has.
I mean, Number Girls. Well,
I was gonna say they could be friends, but Number Girl already has fucking Gyaru.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep wanting to say Number Girl is pretty functional, but then I remember you're
seawater.
gonna drink fucking salt water. So I mean, yeah, really.
I don't know where people got this idea that she's functional because it was also confirmed that she's like not smart either. Like,
well, I mean that I could just write off as just 100 girlfriends bullshit. But yeah, when you don't even know that salt water like that's the shit you like learn on like fucking like in the movies when like a character is gonna drink salt water and they're like, don't do it, you dumbass.
She might be in like the special classes. Maybe Rentaro met her outside the special classes. Like she shouldn't be in normal school, okay? She came to school on the short.
She needs to be in a number focused a number focused curriculum to convert everything into numbers and shit. And not even in a binary sense, just literally like everything got to be described in quantities and whatever.
Yeah, any life skill to learn, she's got it through the weird gaze of numbers. I had another joke and I lost it, and it was so good that I'm trying to stall to remember it, but now it might be gone.
Wait, was it about Number Girl? Or?
It was, but it's gone. It's erased itself. The neuron has deleted itself.
I was gonna say something about teach her how to cook. You got everything. The steps gotta be clearly delineated as numbers. You gotta chop it into like a numbered amount of pieces. You gotta put in for a numbered amount of minutes.
Oh
Like,
my
nothing.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully I remember that joke at some point. But yeah, oh, you know, this isn't the joke, but I was saying we should do like a stream where we rank the girls based on how much therapy they need. I think that'd be funny as well.
That'd be hilarious.
How mentally adjusted are they? Either way, that probably wouldn't carry a whole stream. But I do think that we should come up with another stream idea since we have a chapter or a week with no chapter. I want to come up with I'm trying to figure out what we could do for a stream. We can think on that. But I really enjoy streaming with you, and I think we need to think.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, I feel like I feel like after I stream with you, I'm like my speech level is gone. It's like a workout for my speaking ability.
Brain workout. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta think of something because I feel like there's endless things I still want to do the. I know you'd have to go through your entire notes and shit, but we should both talk about our top 10.
That might be funny. Like, what if a stream where I just show everyone my notes?
The notes reveal stream?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, we could, yeah.
I have enough. They could literally last like several, especially if we add in the Discord shit.
A dramatic reading of Rios's notes.
But yeah.
Chapter 1. The mole on Haruhi, was it Haruhi? I've already forgotten her name.
Hakari.
Hakari, yes. The mole on Hakari's ass is looking especially supple today in this week's chapter. The artist popped off.
I'm still missing that mole. But
yeah, dude. The next time that is real though. The next time that mole shows up, 12-hour stream of something.
Something.
I'm locking that in. But yeah, we'll try to figure out a stream or something. And if we're gonna stream, you'll see it. We'll tweet about it on our Twitter, and we'll fucking follow us on Twitter. Do they know what our Twitters are? Hey, say what your Twitter is.
Yeah, my Twitter is Rayos_VT.
Now tell them what your NSFW Twitter is, or was that the NSFW?
Oh, yeah, my safe for work Twitter is just Rayos_SFW.
But that one's boring. Follow the one with titties.
And also, if you don't want to support Twitter, I got Blue Sky as well. It's the same. Handles, whatever, I'm also on Mastodon, whatever you want.
I'm just at RedAlex3. That's REDDALEX3. That's been my username since I made a Club Penguin account in like 2006. Damn. And I've just been and I made it when I was 13, and that's why it's RedAlex3 because I was like
similar for me. I made that Rails handle on like Xbox Live when I was like 12, whatever.
I've always been
running with it.
Horrifically not creative, unfortunately. Like everyone else is making these fun little names, and I'm just like my full legal ass name is Red Alexander, so I was just like RedAlex3.
It's funny because for a while I actually didn't realize that was like your name. I thought that was just like a a regular old like internet handle.
Imagine me being creative. Couldn't be me.
Yeah.
I really, and now I'm like locked in. Like I play Splatoon, and all my Splatoon friends are like, dude, can you fucking make an interesting name, please? And I'm like, because it's literally it's RedAlex3 on everything, like YouTube, Instagram that I don't use anymore, TikTok. It's just what I fucking do without even thinking about it. You got honestly. You're a smart guy. Help me come up with a good internet username. Think on that. Brew about it.
Like Scarlet_3 or something.
Ooh. Remember, I have no attachment to this fucking color. It's just my name. Okay, I didn't ask to be named this.
Oh my lord.
Everyone's always like, is that your favorite color? It's like, no, bitch. My parents were everybody's so creative. I guess they thought they were fucking creative. I don't know. It's all the goddamn, not misery, but like every time I introduce myself, I'm like, yes, it's my real name. Dude, wait, did I tell you, Game Grumps, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you this. There was a Game Grumps live show last like December around. I don't know if it was.
I remember.
Okay, yeah, you remember?
I remember they were in like Kansas City. And I wanted to go, but I couldn't because I had work. But
are you ready to get your shit blown off? I went to the Grand Rapids one because that's where I live, and I got called up on stage because that's what they do. They do the like, hey, who wants to volunteer to play this game? I raised my hand, thinking, oh, I'm not going to get noticed. I did. I went up there. I very briefly got to talk to Aaron because it was mostly, you know what they do? They just have you like play a little mini game up there. Yeah. And then like you're fighting for your side. There's like the grump side and the not so grump side. I was on the grump side with Aaron. And I was winning in the beginning. It was like a rhythm game. And I was winning in the beginning. But then I thought it was so loud up there. I thought it was over, so then I started prematurely celebrating. No. And then I looked over and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And I couldn't recover. It was terrible. But I did decent enough where I didn't feel too embarrassed. But the point of this story is I have this like not trauma, but like whenever I introduce myself, I always assume that people are going to think that my name is fake. Or like some cringy little like nickname that I've come up with. Like, I'm Red with 2 Ds, right? So I tell him, he asked me my name, out loud in front of the whole crowd. And then I'm like, it's Red. And then he like starts to like do his shtick. And then I lean forward again just to doing my thing. And I was like, and that is my real name, by the way. It's not like a nickname. And then Aaron, like, he made it part of the bit. He was like, I wasn't doubting you, man. And then he turned to the audience and he was
you're like those characters in like, like an anime where who has like some like my name like like their name has some weird kanji meaning, and they're always having to like I don't know, it becomes part of like that's how they introduce to the audience kind of thing. You got that name.
So like he's like, I wasn't doubting you, man. And then Aaron turned to the audience and he was like, this fucking guy says his name is Red. So funny.
Damn.
So no, but like he was making fun of me for
yeah.
like I wasn't doubting you. Anyway, it was a good interaction. Very quick, but it was good. I scoured the internet for videos of this. The only video I could find was like a very brief video of me up there playing the rhythm game, but that's it. So like someone that had took this, but so I have proof that I was up there, but not any proof of the actual conversation we had. So yeah, that was fun. That was like last December, October or something. It was like right after I lost my job. So that was nice because we had already bought the tickets. But anyway, Blood do be waffling. I'm Blood and I'm waffling. And I guess we should wrap it up. Do you have any waffles to waffle before I push end?
Yeah, we waffled enough. Yeah, everyone can eat them.
We waffled
so you can eat.
for exactly 56 minutes and 24, 25, 26. Goodbye.